Hi guys, it's Nancy and I have some of the products from Simon Hurley's new release and I'm excited to share them with you. So the first one we have 5 new ink pad colors, but I want to show you these two were the Christmas colors that were supposed to be released last month. Unfortunately, there was a production problem and the lids were on too tight, and I can show you guys that that is no longer the problem. I did have one of the other ink pads from previous and it really was too tight, you guys. So Simon's team put a halt and now release them with the corrected ink pad lids. So you got to love him for his customer service and thinking about everybody on that. So the first one is called Love Struck, and I am going to swatch these out so you can see how they compare to some of the other colors. But this is going to be almost like a cranberry red color. Okay. Let me clean my little swatch square here. And then the other one is called Viper, which is a nice dark green, almost like a mossy green. Okay, so nice dark red and a nice dark green. And let me show you how those compare to some of the other colors in Simon's collection. So I'm going to write the names down here. So we have Game Over, which is much darker. So you see Love Struck's a little lighter than that. And then Bee Sting. And these are our felt ink pads. They are from Ranger. So I do recommend with the felt ink pads, I like juicy ink pads. So for the felt ones, I do recommend that you get some kind of a re-inker. And there you can see Bee Sting is a little lighter. So you're going to put Love Struck right in the middle of those two. This is great if you guys like to do any kind of layer stamping or blending or anything, that you have those colors. So you would have Bee Sting, Love Struck, and Game Over. Okay, so again, Love Struck is that new color for you guys. All right, let's take a look at the greens. So again, we have Viper, and the colors that Simon currently has are Overzealous, Later Gator, and Fake Plant. And let's check those out. So let's start with Fake Plant. You see, Fake Plant is more of like a fur green, dark green. And then we have Later Gator, which is a much brighter green. And Overzealous, which is almost like a lime green. So Viper is a nice color to kind of add to the collection. So you can see it's much darker. Like I said, it's going to give you a mossier green color, but it does go with the collection nicely. It's kind of that fill-in color. So you have Overzealous, Later Gator, Fake Plant, and now Viper. So that's your new green. And I always like to swatch out my new colors and keep that swatch out so that I can see, you know, how do these colors play in with what's already in the collection. Let's talk about the 3 bright new colors. The 3 bright new colors are Roar, which is a nice bright orange, Shooting Star, which is a great yellow, and No Diving, beautiful blue. So again, let's talk about the oranges here. We have Guppy and we have Traffic Cone. So I think Roar is going to fall in the middle of those two. Let's stamp them out and see. So we have Guppy, Nice kind of Cheetos orange there. This is the brand new Roar. Much darker orange. Wow. Okay. That is like a pumpkin orange there. And then last but not least is Traffic Cone. And Traffic Cone, you can see, is a little bit darker. Okay. The other thing this will tell me as I swatch it out is as the colors start to dry back, it'll show me if there's any changes in the colors as well. So we have Guppy, Roar, and Traffic Cone. And again, Roar is the new color in the collection. I'm just going to mark these. Again, so I have my swatch sheet ready. Let's look at the yellows. We didn't really have a yellow in Simon's collection, so I was really happy to see the yellow. And it's a beautiful yellow. So for yellow, we kind of have Over the Moon and Slippery When Wet. And again, those are more like an orange yellow. The Shooting Star is more like a true yellow. So starting off with Over the Moon. Going into Shooting Star. Look at that bright, bright yellow. Whoa, that is beautiful. And last but not least, Slippery When Wet. Slippery When Wet is almost like an orange yellow. Yellow orange. There, you can see that. Slippery When Wet I often use when I'm layering with Guppy. So we have Over the Moon. Shooting Star, I love this color yellow. Perfect theme for it. And Slippery When Wet. And Shooting Star is our new color. Okay? And last but not least, this beautiful blue. This is called No Diving. Simon has quite a few blue inks in his collection, so let's bring those out. We have the newest color was Breakup Blue. Clear Skies, which is almost a teal blue, and then Midnight Snack, which is a navy blue. There are quite a few colors. There's two other colors that I would consider like a tealish green or teal blue. But let's swatch this out and see how it looks. So we have Clear Skies. Breakup Blue, which is almost a periwinkle blue. No Diving is the brand new blue. Look at that. Goes with both of those colors nicely. Almost like a, I wouldn't say a sapphire blue, but a very pretty blue there. And then Midnight Snack is dark, dark blue. Very much like a navy blue. Look at that. So there you can see, again, that Simon is filling in some of those colors with these new inks. They are a felt ink pad. I can tell you they do blend beautifully, which I'm going to show you in a second. No Diving is the name of the new color. Make sure when you get the ink, you do get the re-inker. And I will have affiliate links down below for you guys if you can help me out with that. So yeah, we have some beautiful colors here. We have Roar as the new color, Shooting Star, and No Diving for the brights. And then we have Love Struck for the red and Viper for the green. So you can see the difference there in the colors. Now let's make something new. So we have a brand new stencil. This stencil is called Slimline Stencil Bold Blossoms. Now, if you got the Slimline Stamp Bold Blossoms, you're going to see that these kind of go together very nicely. You don't have to have one to use the other. So if you only want the stencil or you only want the stamp, that's okay. Use what's going to work for you guys. I'm going to show you how they look here combined, and I'm going to demonstrate this for you guys. So here is using the stamp and the stencil together. I hate coloring, so this is a nice layering set that does all that coloring for me. And here is the stencil without the stamp set. And I just kind of moved the stencil around and stenciled in. That's the new Love Struck. And then I just used some green on there. So I want to show you guys how I did this one here. So I have a pre-made Slimline panel here. This is from the Paper Cut. These are 80-pound opaque, 80-pound Cougar opaque. 25 in a pack scored large slimline cards. These are 4x9 when they are full size. I picked these up at the Ink Pad in New York City, so you can definitely look online there or at the Paper Cut or make your own. And I'm going to bring in my large stamp positioning tool. This is the Tim Holtz one. I'm going to do this single layer, so I'm going to load that on there. There's a little piece of sticky grid back there. I'm going to put my magnets over here on this side. And then I'm going to load my Pull Apart Bold Blossoms stamp right there. Which side did this come from? All right. So what's nice about the peel apart is that you can choose what you want to use, or you can put it back together and use the whole thing. So I have that centered where I want it. This side has the magnets. I'm going to close my door here. Oh yeah, I had this problem before. So my stamp is a little too long. I have to move it up. I do remember having that issue before. So I'm just going to slightly move it up on my page here. And I'll probably cut this card down to 8.5 by 3.5 as well, so that it's not as big. There we go. So now we have the stamp fitting on the whole thing. And I'm going to ink it up with some black ink. I'm going to use my Catherine Puller Midnight Black ink. It's an archival ink. I have a little handle here from Blue Night Rubber Stamps that helps me hold on to the ink pads. But I like using this black ink on red rubber stamps. It will stain my clear stamps, but it will not stain my red rubber stamps. And I'm going to clean up a little excess here. And we're going to stamp that down. Sorry about the noise. That's my mom sewing. Okay, so once I have that stamped, might need to bring my little Chucky in. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now from here, we can take this right off, and we're going to bring the stencils in, and you're going to see how easy this is to stencil. Okay guys, so I have a piece of 12 by 12 sheet metal here. If you have the Make It Art Station, that'll work as well. And these are the Make It Art Station magnets that I was able to purchase separately. And you're going to line up the stencil. Now on the bottom right hand corner of the first stencil, which is the blossoms, it says Bold Blossoms 1. Now you'll notice when I line this up, oh, it looks like it lines up beautifully, but there's an extra flower over here. So I just want to make you aware of that. I have stamped this the wrong way. So I'm going to need to turn my stencil this way, and you want to be able to read the words. You don't want them to be backwards so that you can line it up properly. So now that I've turned my stencil so the bottom is down here, you can see that it lines up perfectly. So always check your alignment before you do any kind of shading or blending. And I'm going to line that up, and just going to put my magnets there to kind of hold it in place. The other thing that's nice is you can see here I kind of missed stamping the image a little bit. So I'm going to grab my black Memento marker, and I'm just going to just trace that area there and fill in where I missed my stamping so I can fix any boo-boos that I might have. And I think that looks pretty good. I got my magnets in place. And I'm just going to use my domed foam blender. I'm going to bring in that new color Love Struck. And just going to fill in. I don't have to worry about that ink getting anywhere else because the stencil is going to protect the rest of the card panel. And I can make it as dark or as light as I want it. As I said before, if you wanted to layer your ink colors, you could certainly do that. You could use blending brushes. You could use the mini blending tools, whatever you have. Okay, so that's layer 1. Super easy to do. And then we're going to just remove the stencil. We can wipe this down. Very easy. We're going to come in with layer 2, and layer 2 is going to be the leaves. And again, it says here, Bold Blossoms 2. And this is going to cover the leaves, and I know the bottom of my stamp is down here, so I'm going to line that up. And you can see how easily that stencil lines up with the stamp. So it is a very nice combination to use this with the stamp. You don't need the stamp, but it does come in handy if you have the stamp to help you line up. Very easy and quick coloring. And I'm going to bring in 2 colors here. I think I'm going to do a little bit of fake plant. And I see another spot here where I missed on the leaf, so I'll go back in with my marker and fill that in. You could also use pixie spray if you don't have magnets to hold it down. Okay, so I'm going to grab my marker, kind of draw this back in where I missed it. Everything else seems to be pretty good. And again, that one was fake plant. And for the last layer, it's going to be the remaining leaves and the stems. And that is called Bold Blossoms 3. And again, you're going to line this right up on the leaves and the stems. Now, I know that they're stamped in black. That's okay. I'm going to use the new Viper, a little bit darker green. And I'm going to use the same blending tool for that. And just go in with that darker green. And once you remove the last stencil, you can see how that stamp and stencil go together beautifully. There you can see the new Love Struck and the new Viper Green. It's just a really nice combination, how they really enhance each other by using the Bold Blossom Slimline stamp and using the new Bold Blossom layered stencils. So I will put the links down below for you guys. I'll have another video showing one of the other new stamp sets that Simon has released. If you have any questions, post them down below. Let me know, do you like this Slimline stencil combo? I know that the layering stencils are pretty trendy right now. What do you think? Do you think it's something you want to get? Let me know in the comments. Any questions, post them down below. Thanks for watching. Keep on stamping. Bye, guys.